Hi boys and girls, so today we're going to kind of talk about phonics with our spelling words, and we're going to do a little bit of language arts. So I'm going to start by reading your spelling words, and we're going to go through and see what we notice about them. So you have unwell, unhappy, untidy, undo, non-fat, nonsense, nonstop. Your red words are soon, very, don't. So take a minute, you can pause the video and talk to somebody in your family or somebody at your house about what do you notice, or just think in your head, what do you notice about these words? Is something the same? Does something repeat? Just take a minute to think about it. So something that is the same and similar about these words is this here. Non, non. So those are what's called prefixes. And a prefix is something that comes at the beginning of a word, like un or non, and it gives the word a different meaning. Now, both un and non mean not. So if you read this word unwell and didn't know what it meant, you would just cover up the prefix and think, well can mean many different things. So we'll start with happy. Unhappy. Let's cover up un, and it's called a root word. So the word that comes after the prefix. So unhappy. So we know what happy means, just to be happy. But if you're unhappy, you put them together. Unhappy equals not happy. So when you see un and like unwell, I'm not well, I'm not doing well, I'm feeling sick, I'm unwell. If you have untidy, well, tidy means to be clean. So you could say untidy means not tidy, and that means to be not clean. Undo. You're going to undo something, you're going to not do it. To not do. So if I'm going to undo my shoelace, I'm not going to do my shoelace, I'm going to undo my shoelace. If I'm typing on the computer and I make a mistake, I might undo it. So we're not doing it. Now we'll move on to non. Non means the same thing, not. So we wouldn't say unfat, we would say non-fat. Now, non-fat, it's not fattening, has no fat, not fat. So if you are on a diet, and you might trying to be eating healthy, so you might want to eat some non-fat yogurt. It means yogurt that does not have fat. Nonsense. Not sense. That means there's no sense about it. So that does not make sense. The fact that, let's think, what is nonsense? If you were to see somebody walking down the street and somebody's walking a hamster, that's nonsense. That does not make sense. And then nonstop. Nonstop, same thing, you add not, so you think to not stop. So if I am reading a book nonstop, that means I've not stopped reading that book. So nonstop. So those are called prefixes. Un and non are prefixes. Pre in itself is actually a prefix. It means to come before. So prefix, that means to come before another word. So when we see the words well, unhappy, tidy, do, fat, sense, stop, those are the root words. And then un and non are your prefixes, okay? So these are your root words, and then you have, so that's a word. That is a word. We have well, happy, tidy, do, fat, sense, stop. Those all are words, and then we put the prefix in front of it to change the meaning of the word. So it just changes the meaning. So I have a few examples that you're going to do. And I'm going to write the words, and I want you to pause the video and take a moment to think about what the word could mean based on what root word that it has in front of it. So both un and non are the same word. So I'm going to give you the word I have a list. Let's see. We got untrained, unseen, unusual, untie, unable. Then I'll give you nonfiction, non-dairy. So I'm going to give you those words. So we have untrained, unseen, unusual, untie, unable, nonfiction, and non-dairy. So I want you to think about what do those words mean? So pause the video, take a minute, and think about what those words mean. So if you've unpaused the video and we've continued, let's think about untrained. So if I say your dog is very untrained, that means your dog has not been trained. So we take un and it means not. So not trained. Unseen. That movie is unseen. That means you've not seen the movie. Unusual. That spider on the wall is very unusual. It's not usual. You probably don't see it every day. Untie. I'm going to untie my shoes. I'm not tying them, so I'm untying them. So I'm not going to tie them. Unable. If I'm unable to log on to iReady, that means you're not able. You just can't do it. Now, nonfiction. We see this word a lot because our last reading unit was on nonfiction. So if something is not, if it's nonfiction, that means it's not fiction. So nonfiction means, if fiction means that a book is fake and it's not real and it didn't happen, and you're saying that it's not fiction, that has to mean that it's true. And we know that that's what nonfiction means. And then we have non-dairy. So if you're lactose intolerant, you can't eat dairy, you can't eat milk, you tend to drink things or eat things that are non-dairy. So that means they do not have dairy. It's not dairy. Same thing like with non-fat. So that is our phonics lesson about our spelling words today. And then you're going to do some of your spelling homework, do your spelling choice board as an assignment. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.